Everybody's talking about this golf ball at the moment, the new TaylorMade Tour Response Stripe. So I'm going to give it a test, play a few holes and tell you what I think about these golf balls. There's two things I'm going to test in this review. First one, the actual performance of the Tour Response golf ball itself, which I think I know the answer to anyway. But then number two, does this stripe actually help or does it hinder performance? You know what, recently golf brands are becoming more brave with their choice of decoration on the golf ball, let's say. We've seen Callaway have TrueViz and also more recently Triple Track. We've seen TaylorMade with the picks and now with this new stripe. We've seen even like brands like Shrixon with the Divide golf ball more recently. And even Titleist to a certain degree, bringing out a yellow Pro V1. Now, is this just brands being creative and artsy and looking for those extra likes on Instagram? Or are these different decorations on the golf ball actually making you guys, the golfer, better at this game that we love? That does look a bit strange looking down on, to be honest, with the stripe. And it also got me thinking, like, in 2022, is it just a fad that we're seeing all these different designs on the golf balls? Like in 5 years' time, we're going to look back at this and go, what the hell were we thinking? Or is this going to stick around? Is this the future? Different designs, different ways of helping you play better golf. So this apparently is the big benefit, the fact you can actually line it up and you get that really clear visual, that 360-degree around the golf ball visual. And ideally, if I've hit a good putt, that line should just roll end over end. Not quite. Now, coming off the back of the putting there, one of the things that I honestly think this is going to have a massive advantage for is you can line it up on the tee. Like if you were to put the ball on the tee, you can basically, to some degree, line it up to your fairway. Like that's going straight down my fairway. Another big fan I am as well, and I've done this on coaching videos before, if you're a golfer that's wanting to try and hit the inside of the golf ball a bit more, you could even favour that golf ball a little bit more on the inside. Likewise, if you want to hit it a bit on the outside, you could favour it more from the outside for a fade. I like those factors, and I love it on the putting green for those shots where you want to line it up as well. Where I have found some downsides with golf balls like this, certainly with the, let's say, the Shrixon Divide or other balls, when it randomly rolls into an area on the fairway or on the rough, sometimes you can get some really odd looking lines, like when the line doesn't line up at all, sometimes visually it can almost throw you out, and that is a negative side of this stripe. I'm going to play a few holes now, tell you a little bit more about the actual golf ball, because even just that first hole then, I know I didn't play it great, but I can already tell this golf ball feels like a premium ball. Like it does, it feels good off the driver, it felt good on the iron shot as well, even off the putter. It's a nice feel. So I don't think I've got loads of questions about the actual golf ball itself. And just one last point, price. These are for a dozen, $34.99. Roughly about £10 cheaper than a box of TP5s, which is TaylorMade's like premium ball. You know, I was just thinking then as well, as much as I'm a big fan of lining the golf ball up, I've done it for years, it can blow some golfers' minds. Like certainly when you line it up and it's a big sloping putt, sometimes it can really throw your eye out. The slight benefit of this ball is that if you didn't actually want it lined up on the putter, you could actually just put it down like that and just use the stripe for the tee if that was an option. Now this is a huge swinging putt, downhill, right to left. I'm gonna pick my line and really trust it. That looks good from here. It is visually, that's quite satisfying, because you've actually still got the black line in the middle. You've then got the two kind of black border lines, then the kind of greeny yellow stripe through the middle. Yeah, I like that. Get down the hill. Get down the hill. Wasn't far off with line, but it was a bit lacking in pace. Okay, so I've got this aimed. Let me just double check. Yeah, I've got this aimed just outside the hole here. I think at dead weight, if I just roll it down the hill, that's got the best chance of going in. Had a little bit of a wobbly wobble, but it's in a snaky putt. And again, I think that's worth looking into, almost like a train aid as well. Like on a perfectly flat putt, that line should not deviate. It should roll absolutely perfect. If it's wiggling a bit too much, you've either not hit the middle of the club face or you've hit it with a closed or open face. Be a good little training tool that actually for a lot of golfers. I just want to illustrate my point from before. Let's say I've just hit a great drive and it's gone straight down the middle of the fairway. Oh, that's a great example. It's this that would kind of throw me out. My flag's up there and that line is literally going over there past my left heel or going over that way over to the right. Like, it's not, I don't feel in that particular setting right there, it couldn't have fallen any better. That to me gives me the most unease when I'm hitting it towards a flag up there, because I can't square it up with any level of confidence. Where a normal white ball, or even those Truvis or picks, because it's more symmetrical pattern all around the golf ball, I feel like this one and the divide and even the triple track that I tested in the past, for me they're the ones that throw me off the most. Let's see if I can overcome it and actually hit a decent shot. I just don't understand where square is. It really throws me off that line when it doesn't fall the right way. I've slightly pushed it. Hard call to know if that was actually the ball alignment or me, but doesn't give me the confidence I want when I'm stood over what in theory is a perfect driver shot. I've got another concern about this ball. Even just a little bits of testing I've done so far, I have noticed that the green section, the stripe, has started to lose a little bit of its colour. Is there a durability issue with this ball? Well, let's find out. I've got a brand new one taken out of the pack. I'm gonna get 10 shots out of the bunker and see how this actual stripe, the colour of the stripe, fares in this test. Okay, durability test done. First thing I want to say, this ball does feel good. Like, even out the bunker, it has that real soft feel, that premium feel. Durability wise, not bad. There's a few tiny little marks. Yeah, that's done well. That's definitely passed the test. Next thing, let's see what's inside this bad boy. This will be satisfying. Right down the middle. Oh yeah. I can always tell when it's a soft ball the way that these cutters go into them. Super soft, that's lovely. And inside, oh, lots of green. Oh, that's good. I like it. You've got the kind of the actual cover there right on the edge. You've got that inner mantle, which I believe has been designed to maximize ball speed. A lot of brands obviously say that. And then the maximized core in the middle there. So overall, I feel like this golf ball has got some real positives, but also some negatives. If I talk about the actual performance of the golf ball itself first, the actual tour response, I think this golf ball is very, very good. I think it's got a lot of very strong characteristics. It's soft, like feels really soft off putter. Also, it's super soft around the greens. I've just played some chip shots around this green and I can't grumble, I can't complain about it at all. I also hit some driver shots on GC quad just previously. And what was I wanting to see? I wanted to see 280 yards of carry and near to 160 miles per hour ball speed. It's exactly what I saw with this golf ball. Like, the performance again is very, very good. Then we come on to this stripe. I think there's positives, but I still think there's a few negatives. The positives for me is I do honestly believe that that stripe on the golf ball couldn't make lining up any easier. It's very visually pleasing. I love the fact that it's got this kind of black speckled border around and this yellow kind of green stripe going through. Lining the ball up could not be easier. However, I think the downside to that is a lot of golfers may line this golf ball up incorrectly still. They might tilt it or they might start it on the wrong line and therefore actually not improve performance. The other downsides, as I mentioned before, when this golf ball is out in open play, when you can't move the golf ball anymore, it's definitely off-putting when it doesn't land the way you want it. And that's going to be out on your hand completely. I think it's an interesting concept. I do like it, and I do think golfers should try it, certainly if they've got any question marks over where they line the ball up when they're putting. I think this could potentially solve some answers, but it's no secret ingredient. But overall, this is very impressive and it's definitely worth trying. We'll see you soon.